Alright, we back on gaming. I want to say this right now. The two key words that you need to know today, because this is going to be the theme today, is going to be arrogance and responsibility. Or should I say lack thereof. Because the people who are acting arrogant or saying things arrogantly, when you are proven wrong, you don't want to take responsibility for your actions or your statements. No. You'd rather pass it off or blame somebody else. That's what it is. It's time that you take a good look in the fucking mirror of what's going on today. And you know what? This is our community. Again, our community. And I put it like this. Like I've said before, if I don't have the ammo, there's no shots to be fired. Shots fired. Ain't gonna be any there. Well, guess what? You give me the fucking ammo, but you know it's not gonna be a shots fired. No, I'm dropping bombs today. Fuck this. Alright? It's time that people are fucking exposed. Don't get upset with me for something you fucking did. It's that simple. And for people who say, oh, I don't like where event's going to go with this, it doesn't matter if you fucking like it or not. It doesn't matter if you like me or not. I've told you before, okay, that this is about showing the truth, giving you the facts, and opening up discussion. If you don't like me, if it's really that serious that you don't fucking like me, then once again, I'll say it again. It's time for you to schedule some time so that we have this face-to-face. That's how I feel today. That's where it's going today, okay? Now, I had a number of things that I wanted to talk about today, issue-wise in our community, but apparently that's got to be put on the back fucking burner because these idiots in our community want to keep acting up. So, let's get into it, alright? Now, I want to start off with Fire Emblem Fates. That's right, I want to start with an update. For those who don't know, Fire Emblem Fates sold a lot, alright, in its first opening week when it came to this game. Now, of course, there was problems with localization, and we got some news on the localization front as well, okay? But when you have people coming out and saying that Gamergate didn't do their job to stop the sales of the game, which makes no fucking sense to me, why would you even think that? Yeah, apparently this is the shit that's being said on Twitter. Now, when I first saw that tweet, I had to ask everyone. I was like, yo, is this legit? Or is this trolling? Because you know what? It's getting hard, especially when you're on Twitter. It's getting hard to tell the difference between someone trolling and someone who's just really fucking stupid. And apparently, what you people are telling me is that this is legit. So this person is fucking stupid. So I have to ask this person, okay? What the fuck made you think that Gamergate, regardless if they decide to boycott it or not, would reach out to all the masses, alright, that could buy this game? I want to know that. You know, the kids that are seeing the commercials on TV and saying, Mommy, I want that. And they go to the retailer and they decide, Mommy or Daddy decides to buy that for them for the 3DS. You think that Gamergate they failed to stop that? Is that what it is? You want to blame Gamergate for every sale that was made. Mind you, alright, Fire Emblem Fates did great in its opening week. It did. But now you want to say, ha, Gamergate, look how it sold. Your issue with localization isn't that much of a problem now, is it, when you're trying to boycott it? So you really want to go there, huh? If anything, you're giving Gamergate a hell of a lot more credit than it is, because you're saying they have that reach, that they can reach everybody. And they just failed to reach everybody. That's what you're doing. So actually, you're giving them credit for something they actually had no power to do. I'm just saying, that's how fucking stupid you go. I put it like this. Today is one of those straight shooting. I have no time for this today. I don't. Because when you see stupid shit like that, you have, you know what I mean? But it gets worse. Today is going to get a hell of a lot worse. I guarantee you, okay? But Fire Emblem Fates people who did say that they were going to boycott, or they have a problem with the localization, we do have some good news for you. Because there is a patch on the way to fix everything. So there you have it. There is a patch on the way. Just sit tight. It is coming. So you can rejoice about that. So for people who said, ha, Gamergate, you're not getting what you wanted, there's a patch coming to fix it. So the people who complain, because there's more people who complain than just Gamergate, understand that they're getting what they want. So you just fucked yourself over. You made yourself look like a fucking idiot. I'm just saying. Let's move on, please. Let's talk about Nintendo Treehouse. Another update. I know, another update after what happened last week. Nintendo Treehouse host Erik Peterson is leaving Nintendo. Okay? Leaving Nintendo. Also, Nintendo was urged to fire feminist employee Alison Rapp for being a pedophile apologist. Now, we talked about this last week with Alison Rapp, and we know that she's come out and said these type of things. But once again, because a publication came out and said this and said, you know what, we urge you to, to fire her because of these things said. Not because it's just Gamergate, all right? But apparently, Gamergate is being blamed once again for all this going on. I told you before that this little girl, yes, little girl is a child. And it's amazing how last week she talked about how, you have to, know the real world before you can talk video games. Well, since you want to go this route, looks like that's coming back to bite you in the ass, because let's talk about real world responsibility. Because you're blaming Gamergate for something you did. No one told you. Gamergate didn't make you write those tweets, did they? No. No one came out and, no one said you should be, an advocate for pedophiles. You did that on your own. And you should know, with Nintendo Treehouse, and because they're trying to keep it E for everyone and for kids and stuff like that, that is going to be a problem. And yet you want to blame Gamergate. Then you go on to say that, oh, look how they did Zoe Quinn. And look, she's an abuser. Look how they did Anita. She's a scammer. And they were proven wrong. Actually, if you want to keep blaming Gamergate for that, you should know the history of this. Because people before Gamergate were calling Zoe Quinn an abuser. People before Gamergate were calling Anita Sarkeesian a scammer. So now you want to blame Gamergate for that as well, huh? It may have magnified it, but here's the thing. It had nothing to do with Anita at the time. Remember, this was a whole Zoe Quinn thing and getting caught sleeping with people to get ahead. Then Anita came along out of nowhere and was like, see, this is what we're talking about, the abuse, blah, 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 blah. Even though we know that people were calling her a scammer a long time before that. So if you're going to sit here and you're going to blame Gamergate for your lack of responsibility, you're going to blame Gamergate for, Zoe Quinn's lack of responsibility, you're going to blame Gamergate for Anita Sarkeesian being caught as a scam artist, it's amazing how you'll just keep scapegoating. It's not even a Gamergate issue. It's a human being issue. Just as far as I'm concerned, when you're doing something like this, like I said, you need to take responsibility. But as long as you can say, hey, that's the big bad guy in the corner over there, and you're hoping if you say it enough that people will start to believe the shit, you've got to be kidding me. You deserve to be fired. Your immaturity is showing. Clearly. But since you want to talk about Anita Sarkeesian, alright, let's talk Anita Sarkeesian. I told you before that Anita Sarkeesian is no different, I've been saying it for years actually, that she's no different than Jack Thompson. And yet again, she goes on and quotes Lee Lin Yi and says, Senator Lee Lin Yi is on our side when it comes to him hating sexist games. Really? You mean this Lee Lin Yi? You mean the very same Lee Lin Yi who went up against Grand Theft Auto and called it so many names, trashed it to beyond belief. Same Lee Lin Yi that we found out had a number of illegal weapons because he was smuggling them and possibly selling them. Yeah, that Lee Lin Yi. But you know what? Let's stay focused here. Let's talk about Anita Sarkeesian some more, because we talked about last week about Firewatch, or as I called it, Firewall. We know that because we got an update. That's right. Remember, a lot of gamers said they weren't going to buy this game due to the fact that she was in a special thanks, and we found out that she was a consultant or whatever. That's what was going on. We heard. Now we're finding out more news on this situation, the details of this situation, on how she helped them. Apparently, the developers came out from Firewatch and said that they were influenced by Anita Sarkeesian to change core parts of their game. That's right, of their game, core parts, due to watching her videos. Yeah, that's not all. No. There's more to this, alright? Firewatch, the people behind Firewatch, purposely discriminated in hiring. That's right. Anyone who was pro-Gamergate wasn't considered. I find this funny. Because you're going off of, hearsay when it comes to pro-Gamergate. Because if someone says they're pro-Gamergate, then they must be a stalker, a harasser, they must be a rapist, all these other things. I want to compare this type of discrimination, to what we saw not too long ago when Brianna Wu came out and said something, when Anita Sarkeesian came out and said, when all these so-called feminists came out and said something, when they said that women weren't being hired enough in gaming media to write. Remember that? Remember to say, oh, it's discrimination, it's a boys club and all this, and women, we just want to be, included. Now you're discriminating people basically off of, we don't know. Off of pretty much off of lies. Because, I mean, let's be honest here. You can't say it's a political difference or a stand. You can't. Because if you're talking ethics in media and in journalism, and they're trying to turn it as into, you're all harassers of women, which I don't know where you got that from. Really. Oh, I forgot. We know where you got that from. Because you couldn't handle the responsibility of sleeping with somebody and getting caught. So that's what it was. That's what you had to label it. I find it funny that the developers came out and said this. Like I said, mind you, they also gave special thanks to Tim Schafer. So it goes to show you the type of club, the type of people they're running with. Alright? But the fact that they admitted this, it's not a good look. Overall, the industry looks bad, and you know it. It sends a big message to publishers. It sends a big message to other developers who, mind you, remember, a lot of developers, they said they were keeping quiet about being anti-gamer, being anti, feminist or whatever they're talking about, because they didn't want to lose their jobs. Now that developers have a voice now, you're going to start to see this. Once again, the odds are being played. Everyone's being put against each other. We'll talk about more of that, later when it comes to putting against each other. But let's move on. Okay? Sandy Beaches. Remember how we talked about Sandy Beaches and I showed you that article about Tifa and Final Fantasy? I'm sorry, not Tifa. If Cloud had died, it would have been better than Aerith had died. And Sandy Beaches. And I said, this has to be a troll. It has to. There's no way you can tell me it's not a troll, right? Then we find out that Sandy Beaches, the person behind the name Sandy Beaches, he trolled. He purposely did it to see if the Mary Sue would pick up the article. I'll put the link in the info bar. He goes on to say that he just wrote the most out of there, wacky, illogical article that he could think of to see if it was going to be picked up. He even goes on to say that they didn't even ask for references or ask for anything. Like, they just, clearly, it's simply, against men, or it's feminism, and that's what you want to call it, harassment, and there you go. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. This is what these publications do. It goes to show you that they're looking for shock tactics. Not only that, they're looking for clicks, but it goes to show you how unprofessional they are. We'll talk about unprofessionalism as well later, okay? But unprofessional. I don't know how many times that we can see this happen. I'm sure that we're going to see a lot more of this happen. Because if they're not screening the writers, you might as well just go to Tumblr and just start picking out people. And this is what I mean about influence. When you get enough people or enough sites to take on this type of, this narrative and they just keep running with it, people who don't know what's really going on, because if you can Google something like this and all the front page will be that way. The second page will be that way. Third page will be, because they're bigger sites. And then you have the other sites that link to them, whether they're sister sites or not, or smaller sites trying to get known, but they'll still link it to them. It's a problem. It is. And it seems like everything that's been about ethics and journalism has been exposed. It has been. But for some reason, these places are still catching followers. We're going to talk about that some more, actually. We should talk about that right now. Because I want to talk about you women in gaming, because remember, the women's are supposed to save us, right? Supposed to save us. I want to say this right now, because understand when you're being hustled, okay? For those who don't know, Call of Duty developer will continue to include strong women in their games, right? Now, I don't know why this article was written other than to try and get women to buy a product, because that's what it is. They are targeting women specifically. Strong women in the game, we have to buy this product, we have to support it, or we have to talk about and facilitate it because it generates more sales for them. I say this due to the fact that the last time Black Ops 3, when that was coming out, an article was written by IGN that said, it's the first woman, the first woman in gaming, strong woman, and she's playable. And we knew that was a fucking lie, because the first Call of Duty, had a strong woman that was playable. The developers, the publishers, the advertisers, the media are exploiting you. That's right, women, exploiting you. This is what you're supposed to be fighting against, right? Exploiting you and playing on your emotions to buy a game. Yeah, think about that for a minute. Yeah, but you ain't gonna talk about that, will you? No, you don't want to talk about that, because it's not enough. Because now, these so-called people, these so-called warriors, these champions of justice when it comes to women, they won't speak up on that, will they? No, not at all. Like I said, there's a difference between people who are blowing hot air up your ass and showing you the fucking truth. Showing you examples of what I'm talking about. Week in, week out. That's alright. That's alright. Let's move on. Let's talk about the UN. Because the UN, because as we know, they're so hardcore up now on video games when we have all these, serious situations going on in the world. The UN is attempting to mandate Japanese culture. Trying to get them to ban all types of stuff. However, Japan refutes UN's suggestion to ban media depicting sexual assault. Once again, I thought that you wanted games to grow up. That's what I thought you wanted. You wanted these storylines, right? You wanted these situations, right? So you can handle them as an adult. Now that you're getting them, you want them banned. Yeah. You know what? I'm real tired of hearing the UN speak about this. I'm real tired of SJW speaking about this. Because if it's towards a woman, it's wrong. It's wrong to sexualize a woman because you'll have a fit over it. But if you sexualize a man, then, hey, that's not a problem, right? Because hot Ryu and everything like that. Well, you know what? You went and you got Mika's butt slap. You got it banned, right? And then what happened? PC modders. I love you. How many times do I have to say I love you guys? Look, PC modders, all right? You brought back Mika's butt slap, and we saw NeoGaf go crazy because how dare you bring it back? So PC modder said, okay, we'll do you one better. So where's the complaints? I haven't seen any. Oh, I forgot. We've got a gross double standard going on in our community because these people have just been led in our community, infiltrating it. We'll talk about that in a bit too, okay? Also, more news. The ESL and Intel launch esports diversity initiative anykey. You fucking serious? Are you fucking serious? You're trying to tell me in esports that there's not enough diversity? Really? Is that where we're really going here? Because, as we know, most esports, even though America is just now, getting bigger when it comes to esports, it's been overseas for God knows how long. And you're going to sit here and tell me there's a diversity problem? Okay, alright, you know what? You can hold that, for real. Anyways, now we got to get into some of the meat and potatoes of this. Like I said, I told you I was going to call out some people. So, last week I mentioned this person, and it looks like I'm going to have to mention this person again because they don't know when to shut the fuck up. So, let's get into this. HipHop Gamer. Yeah. Let's talk about this. Street Fighter V. Yeah. You have the nerve to say these type of things towards gamers, right? Very negative. And I'll speak about that in a minute, okay? Very negative. But after all the bullshit that you have said and all the problems that you have caused, because let's be honest here, we know that he's a shill. That's what he is. Matter of fact, I'm not going to call him HipHop Gamer anymore. He's going to be called Hipster Shill Gamer. That's what he is. He is the gaming equivalent of an ambulance chaser. That's what he is. As far as I'm concerned, that's what he is. So, with that being said, understand that when these things were said about Street Fighter V in his video, RockawayCarter challenged him to a match, right? First to 10. For charity. That's right, for charity. Now, at first, HipHop Gamer, Hipster Shill Gamer, decided he wasn't going to take the match. And then once Rock started pushing, saying, hey, look, this is for charity. It doesn't matter who wins or loses. It's for charity. Then he says, okay, we'll play for charity. So Rock is like, well, you know what? We can do it this week. No time like the present. You know what I mean? Let's do it. Let's get it over with. Let's do this. I'm ready to play. I'm hyped. Let's do this. He says, well, I'm busy this week. How about in April? What? Who takes a fight in April? Hold on. Who says they're busy this week and then says, I'll take the fight in April? Who the fuck does that? Seriously. And the thing is, he wants to say that he was so busy. Nah, bruh. We checked your deposit. You were not busy all fucking week. Then we find out within all this, because he's playing games, and Rock is like, yo, why don't you just play me right now? Why do I have to wait till April? He's like, but I'm still busy. I said I'll play you in April, fam. It don't have to be that way. Let's have a talk about this first, you know what I mean, via PSN, so that we can clear the air, so there's no negativity. Keep that in mind, negativity. Then, what does this motherfucker do? He decides he wants to go into a debate with Review Tech USA. That's right. This is what pisses me off, okay? Because first off, there doesn't need to be a debate. It doesn't. as we know, Review Tech USA gonna buy this man free. This is a 10-0 for him, as far as I'm concerned. Because as we know, the video that was already made that HipHopGamer did, Hipster Shill Gamer did, we already know he's absolutely fucking wrong. 100% fucking wrong. We already know that. So as far as I'm concerned, this debate doesn't need to happen. Alright? But this is how I see things. Because both of these motherfuckers, they're not even in the fighting game community. And as you know, because Hipster Shill Gamer likes to call himself a real gamer, if you were a real gamer, guess what? You would know that the FGC, this is how we handle shit. You said your piece, other people have said their piece, take it to the fucking sticks. It's been like that since the arcade days. Nothing is going to change. I'm not trying to hear all of a sudden that people need to have a debate. Y'all doing more talking than playing. I never understood this. As long as it's going to take you to do a debate, you could have had 2 first attends. That don't make no fucking sense. We got grown-ass men, that's right, who want to talk about their feelings on the issue instead of actually playing. You duck challenges from Rock. You duck challenges from Red Operative. You duck challenges from Black Bond. You know what that makes me say?
This nigga's scared.
I've never seen a grown man in my life, alright, who considers himself a real gamer, because he's a real gamer, but no one else is. We'll talk about that in a minute, okay? But the fact that he considers himself a real gamer, but is scared to play a fucking video game. April. The only reason I can see this happening is 2 reasons. Because of the fact that he made that piss-poor video on Street Fighter V. If he'd have got bodied free right now, that would kill his credibility. So he's hoping that people push it on. He's hoping also that if he does it in April, that people will forget. That it's old news by then. That's what it comes down to, as far as I'm concerned. Because you can't tell me you are that fucking scared to play people in a fighting game. You do realize engaging in it, as you say yourself, Capcom, this is what they're doing. They're not making for single player mode. It's for online play. So you know what you're getting yourself into when you play the game. You're going to go online and play people. Why are you so scared to go online and play people? Exactly. It's bullshit. And you're not fooling me. And you're not fooling a lot of us. But you know who you are fooling? Your stupid fucking fans. Your ignorant fucking fans. I've told you before, people, about influence. And how it can be damaging to our community. When you have a guy such as HipHop Gamer, Hipster Shill Gamer, alright, try and peddle this bullshit out. And we'll talk about that in a minute as well. Okay? But then when his fans come to his defense, they want to start calling other black men not black enough to be heard when it comes to video games. That's right. Dr. Rectangle received this message from one of his little fucking fanboys. If there's one thing that pisses me off the most, it's black people who drag other black people down and try to consider them not black enough. Who the fuck are you to say who's not black enough? Huh? I want to know, because I'm from the hood. I'm from the fucking hood too. What does that mean? It means nothing. It means you eventually, if you want to get out the fucking hood, guess what? You're going to have to adapt and make your way out of it. That's what it comes down to. For you to sit here and say some shit like that tells me, and you call him an unconscious coon. Are you fucking serious? You know what? Let's get on that right now. That's what I want to talk about right now, okay? For you to call someone who is very articulate, Dr. Rectangle, can be very articulate and show you the truth on what's going on and using logic, and you call him an unconscious coon. You do realize, clown, that you are backing a guy who kisses so much corporate ass, who has multiple times gone against the community. You know what I mean? Has gone against the community to kiss corporate ass. That would be the equivalent of an Uncle Tom in your eyes. But you want to call someone an unconscious coon and they're not black enough. It's people like you that are a fucking embarrassment to black people. It is. You cannot sit here and tell me that because the way a person speaks, and we've talked about this before, people know how this shit goes. And my black people, especially if you've been in this situation, you can come talk to me about this. You can come holler at me about this. Because these type of people will tell you, these type of black people will tell you, you are not black enough to have any credibility. But then, when you go towards white people, you have white people say, you're too black for us, so you're stuck in the fucking middle. It is people like that that are disgusting. We're going to see more disgusting answers. Tell you, it's fucking disgusting. Now, mind you, I was going to bring up the race card today, but they brought it to my fucking doorstep because Dr. Rectangle was like, did you see this shit? And you know what I did? I went right to HipHop Gamer, Hipster Shill Gamer, fraud-ass gamer, and I said to him, this is how your fans act. What's up with the positivity now? And of course, he didn't get back to me. Of course not. He had time to tweet his other little fucking flunkies who kiss his ass because they too fucking stupid to realize it. But let's get on that, right? Because let's be honest here. When it comes to YouTubers, you can tell their fan base engage how they are. Here, we deal with nothing but facts. I show you examples. We question things because that's what gamers do. They question shit before they decide to buy something. We'll talk about that later as well. Okay? But if you look at other fan bases, if you look at, say, let's just say DSP, his fan base acts just like him. HipHopGamer's fan base acts just like him. A bunch of ignorant ass, and I hate to use this word, you know how much I hate to use it, but a bunch of ignorant ass niggas. That's what it is. You can't sit here and tell me that you're all good, it's all gravy, the fact that he can suck a dick for a company and tell you gamers because you question it, oh, y'all not real gamers. I'm the only real gamer. What kind of arrogant shit is that? But you know what? Let's move on. Let's talk about this, about the fact that, all this, corporate ass kissing. Because as we know, this dude walks around with fake titles, right? I mean, let's be honest, he's the corporate champion. You know what sucks about being a corporate champion? That you piss all over paper champions because you can't even match up with anyone on paper. The fact is, you have another title where your fraud ass tried to make yourself look somewhat real because you put Tupac on one side, Biggie on the other side of your title, then you got Ryu and Sub-Zero. Are you fucking serious? Ryu and Sub-Zero, real gangsters though, right? Real gangsters. I put it like this, you don't even defend these fucking titles. So you know what that does? That pisses all over people who have, because you created these, alright, pisses all over people who have sacrificed to win actual championships, alright? You're a fucking fraud. You said, oh, I'm just going to create these titles and try to get some type of legitimacy because you're snuck in the back door and you're not a real fucking gamer. And the fact is, when you did this, you thought, if I use specific wording or specific mannerisms, I can sit and I can capture a specific audience. Because for those who don't know how that works, all you got to do is look at analytics. That's all you have to do. And you can tell exactly the audience that they hold. That's what it comes down to. But that's not all. No. We have a hell of a lot more to show you. That's right. That's right. For all this fraud shit, tell me this, hip-hop gamer, during the weekend, all right, when people were challenging you, because over the weekend, your mentions was flooded by RockawayCarter, all right, Black Bond, it was flooded by, by Ren Operative and all their fans. Over the weekend, not one fucking fan of yours came to your defense. For what I'm hearing, what people were telling me, they were destroying you. Your own fan base was destroying you over on Facebook. But the fact is, not one fan even tweeted towards you and was like, hey, what's going on? You know what I mean? Not one. So tell me, out of 75,000 plus, I believe, all right, 75,000 plus, you're going to tell me not one came to your defense? Them followers looking real suspect right now. You sure you didn't pay for those? I'm just saying. That's what it's starting to look like. But I know a lot of people are saying, okay, Event, you're being way too negative at this point. You should be more positive, like Hipster Shill Gamer. You should be, because he's all about that positivity and clearing the air, dog. You should just be like him. You should walk around talking like him and using the parallels and all this other bullshit. Okay, you want to talk about positivity? Well, then tell me, why did he tweet this? Wow, dick-sucking Capcom and telling people who are complaining about this issue that they're a bunch of haters. Wait, I thought this guy was a rapper because you're using outdated slang. I would have thought you'd have came up with something a little bit more impressive. But haters, so let me get this straight. People who have complained, you're going to insult. That's what you're going to do, because that's what you're doing. You're trying to discredit people who are complaining that they spent $60 on a broken mess. And now, since we've already seen, because we talked about it last week, how people were saying, wait for the update, and people are saying, okay, we're being pressured to wait for the update, so we'll keep it and still try to work around it and still keep trying to play. Now he's going to say, ha ha ha, you still playing the game, dog? Return it. That's the dumb dog shit he's trying to do. This man has infiltrated our community and is trying to put us at odds. And here's the thing, all right? Because a couple years ago, I gave this man a shout out because I said, look, the brother's doing his thing, I'm not even mad. But then once you started getting beside yourself, especially when you did that video on the order, okay, and then you do this shit with Street Fighter V, yeah, it's time to cut ties as far as I'm concerned. There's no way you can tell me that real gamers, because you said yourself, real gamers will support companies when they put out bad products. No, the fuck they won't. Real gamers will question the shit. It's been like that since the beginning of fucking video games. And guess what? It sends the message that developers can't put out bad products. That if you want to get paid, you gotta put out quality. I don't understand how that's so hard for you to fucking understand, but you're not here to understand. You're here to kiss ass. And you're here to tell us that if we have a difference of opinion and we say, hey, look, we're not happy with this product, then we're a bunch of haters, we're a bunch of naysayers, we're being too negative, we should just bow down to the fucking companies. You also went on to say that this game, there's nothing wrong with it. Well, you know what? Let's get into the facts that there's nothing wrong with this game. Let's talk about the hitboxes. So, let's start with this. That's just a still frame, right? That's what you're going to say. You need more proof of this bad hitboxing or hurtboxing? You know what? Fine. Let's see some more proof.
The never-ending hut. 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 Hut.
And I'm sure you're going to say, well, you know what? Maybe that's just a glitch at that point. Maybe it was just messed up. Maybe it's just that character. Okay, fine. Well, let's see another character then. And I'm sure people will say, well, maybe that is a problem. That could be patched later. Maybe, that Capcom just missed that because they were trying to rush this game out. And they've never had this problem before. Really? Well, let's go back in the time and see that. The fact is, Capcom has been getting away with this shit for years with no fixes. That's what it comes down to. But yet, we're not supposed to question any of this, right? And according to Hipster Shill Gamer, we're supposed to just throw our money at it and kiss their fucking ass. Because the game is stellar. There's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. I find that funny because every time I show you this proof, and then you want to say, but it's negative. It's being a bunch of haters, all right? Because you guys are just a bunch of entitled brats. That's what we're seeing, right? Okay, so I guess that's over here in the U.S. you're saying that. What about over in Japan, where the ratings right now in Japan, gamers are not happy at all with this, and they're giving the game 2 stars? But still, we're being entitled, right? We're not allowed to complain. We should just bow down to Capcom. I find that funny because if it hasn't been enough proof for you, even Capcom came out and made the apology because they knew they fucked up and gamers weren't having it anymore and just said, we're done with the apologies, just fix it. So Capcom, the company who made the game, knows they fucked up and they're apologizing. But Hipster Shill Gamer is going to sit here in denial and say they didn't do anything wrong. You really want to go there. And if you complain, then you're a hater. Positivity, though. You want to sit here and say that people are entitled. Positivity, though. And that you're the only real gamer as opposed to those who are complaining about this. Positivity, though. It's a bunch of bullshit. We got a grown man frauding his way to act like he's a gamer, okay? Making fake titles. Yes, making fake titles. to try and get some type of legitimacy, and then he doesn't defend them, or he's scared to play fucking video games. What the fuck does this tell you about this guy? I told you before, this positivity shit, you know, the people who try to use this positivity type thing, they're always the ones who get caught doing negative shit. I put it like this: if you want to talk about positivity, you could have spent your fucking airtime trying to brainstorm and fix some problems in the community. But you didn't do that, did you? No. It was all about you and your fucking sponsors, because the first 5 minutes of your fucking video, all you did was give shout-outs to fucking sponsors who gave you shit like it was going to be an unbiased video. Are you serious? The fact is, there's no need for a fucking debate. Take it to the sticks. The war of words is over. This is how we done things back then. You're not going to change the narrative now, and I don't want to hear shit about how this dude is important, because he's not fucking important, especially when he's trying to put us at odds like this when we got more serious shit to take care of. Seriously, you can't sit here and tell me that he's so important that we need him. I don't remember anyone saying we need Hipster Shill Gamer, we want Hipster Shill Gamer, or who he knows. Fuck who he knows, and fuck who he thinks he is, so fuck who he thinks he is as far as I'm concerned. And all this, shots fired, shots fired. The only shots you firing, bro, are a bunch of Nerf balls. Get the fuck out of our community as far as I'm concerned. And like I said, this is an FGC thing, so you let us settle this shit. Anyways, let's move on with more Street Fighter V news, alright? Let's move into this, because we still have some problems going on, not just with Street Fighter V, but in the fighting game community that we need to talk about, I should say, as well. Alright? Street Fighter V rage quitters will face severe punishment, and they're starting to already. Now, Capcom is having a problem with catching all these rage quitters, and they're hoping that you, the community, will help them out. Now, for those who follow me on Twitter, you know that as of late, when people are posting rage quit videos, I've hashtagged it with sore losers, sore losers, online quitters. That's what it was. And the reason I'm doing that is because Capcom, they've actually made this hashtag so that they can catch people. So when you post your video and they see the rage quit, they can see the person's screen name, and then this is what they're going to do to them. Apparently, Capcom is taking league points away from players for rage quitting, and that's just the start of things to come, okay? There's a lot of people who have, woke up one day and was like, hey, all my points are gone, what's going on? Stop rage quitting. It's that simple, all right? So that's just one thing. But you also have to understand that other people who run tournaments are also starting to see this. They're starting to see people rage quit against them as well. And they're saying, if you rage quit against me in Street Fighter V, and I see your name at the tournament that I'm holding, I'm going to automatically DQ you. I feel as though that is the right way to go about it. It goes to show you that there's a number of us who are willing to help and to get the ball rolling, to get rid of the bad seeds. That's how it works. I have to say, my hat's off to Jay Bailey on that, as far as I'm concerned. But we need to talk about something that I've been talking about for the previous 2 weeks in the fighting game community. Yeah, that's right. For those who don't know, and once again, I've given you enough information on this. I told you my opinions on it. I told you exactly how this is going to go. And now, once again, I'm proven right. Again, for those who don't know what I'm talking about. Let's talk about a little thing called Lupe versus Daigo. That's right. Now, you know what I've had to say about Markman for the previous couple of weeks, right? And you've seen, I've shown you the tweets where at first they was trying to get Lupe and it was bad promotion, right? And then they try to get Wale and I'm like, they're up to this shit again, right? Check this out. Did Lupe versus Daigo de-legitimatize Street Fighter FGC? Nerd Reactor wrote this. I'll put the link in the info bar. The writer goes on to say that this did not help the FGC. Have I not been saying this? I said this, if anything, it exploits the FGC. They hoard it out all of a sudden, for a celebrity. And that's a problem. Did I not say that? I even said when he tried to reach out to Wale, stop this old bullshit. And what do? Well, it's not me. It's the people that I work for. And what did I say? Tell those people you're working for that they're fucking over the community. Did I say that? Now, the media is involved. That's right. And they're saying the same thing. This fucks up the fighting game community. They took a loss on this one because he's sandbagged. This is absolutely atrocious. It should never happen again. But as you know, because that's what it comes down to, idiots decide, now that it's a trend, they want to take the ball and run with it. Because now they're trying to get Lupe Fiasco to play players in Guilty Gear. Seriously, get the fuck out of here with this bullshit. For anyone to even think to consider this again, knowing that it did bad last time, no, stop. Just stop. All right? You're just all you're doing, like I said, once again, all you're doing is whoring us out. You're whoring out our community. It's not worth it. It's not. Fuck those celebrities. Who are they anyway? They nobody to us. Remember, do I need to remind people how this all started back in the arcades, where the people who were popular didn't want shit to do with us gamers? Now you want to sit and cater to them? Are you fucking stupid? It's one thing if there's certain celebrities out there who are gamers. Then you have to question their ability and you have to challenge them. I get that. Lupe Fiasco apparently is a Blanca player. As we know, you couldn't use Blanca during Street Fighter V, but he wasn't ready to play Daigo. We knew that. And guess what? He doesn't mean he's going to play Guilty Gear either. The fact is, this does not need to happen. You need to work on your own ranks and look within your own community and police your own fucking community before you decide to go this route. Shit needs to be cleaned up. Before anything, if you don't know what I'm talking about, let's take a look once again, because everyone's favorite scumbag, Filipino champ, does it again.
He is staring. Neo, he is staring at him.
Oh my gosh, he is staring.
Neo, he is laughing. He is shaking his head. He is a very disrespectful individual.
Oh
my God, he is talking to him. He is talking to him.
He told him that he's free, folks.
Neo, this is why I do not root for this gentleman to win. He is a very disrespectful individual. I do not like him at all. I do not like the way his head is shaped. I do not like anything about F-Champ right now at all.
3-4. And he looks at him again. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. I think he's telling him that if he wants to quit, it's okay.
This is not fair at all.
Goodness.
Listen, don't worry. Do not listen to him.
Oh my gosh, folks. We are witnessing.
Do not listen to him.
We are witnessing.
This is our evil champion. This is our evil champion. Don't worry.
Oh my goodness.
I will beat champ. I will beat champ in the first.
Hold on, K-Bra. We have to acknowledge what's going on.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh, folks. This is Filipino champ making a statement. Oh my goodness. He's asking him if he wants to continue to play.
Let's go, Kane.
Yeah. And the people, you know, some for Kane, some for Filipino champ. Oh, he grabbed the mic. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Filipino champ definitely just asked the crowd.
This is my game.
Oh, he told KBR, this is my game. Oh my goodness,
Listen.
folks. Just came to Spook. He's right beside us. He left.
Okay, this is what I want you to do. He's struggling to get a game. But I paused the game purposely, so give him a point. Okay?
Oh
give him a point.
my God.
You know what I'm saying? This is my charity. Give him a point. Right?
Yeah, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Look, I don't have a problem with the trash talk in the beginning. Not at all. You want to talk and jaw at him and say you free, whatever, that's fine. But when you get on a microphone and you start pointing your finger at people, guess what? That's a punchable offense. In any hood, that's a punchable. You don't be pointing your finger at nobody, let alone getting on a mic and screaming, and then you grandstand even worse, and you say, I'm not going to play this part. Give him a point. I'm not going to play. That's bullshit. At that point, that's just complete immaturity, and I don't want to hear this villain bullshit, all right? Now, as the story goes, the guy he is playing, okay, for what we're hearing, the guy he's playing, that Filipino champ is playing, is a real piece of shit for what we're hearing. A number of players have done streams and had their opinion. You know, they got to know this guy and saying how he's a con artist and how he will take everything from you. If he borrows money from you, he won't pay you back. Any type of good deed or if he takes advantage of your good human nature, he will exploit and he will use it without any mercy. Apparently, that's what we're hearing about this guy. So that's why when Filipino champ, I didn't have that much of a problem with him trash talking him as opposed to getting on the microphone and saying something like that. It's bullshit. But of course, you're going to find idiots who love this type of shit and say, you're the villain that we need. Again, grow the fuck up. This is not wrestling. We don't need heroes and villains. You are there to see the game play out. You do not need that. The game itself is going to be hype. All right? When it comes to too high, ranking players. You don't need all this other bullshit, these theatrics, this drama queen bullshit. But of course, there's also people who want to justify it as well. This is one of these people who don't have a backbone. They just get, they get complacent and say, no, it's just the norm. No, I want to hear that. It's not called you should, get mad and justify it. No, it's called stop being a douche and play the fucking game. That's all it is. And you know what happens when you be a douche? Shit comes back to you tenfold.
He's gonna have to do it. Don't burn it. He's gonna have to do it.
Is he?
Yeah, man. Oh.
There we go. No. Okay. Good. That was an accident. Gee, Ryan. No. Oh, he's dead. Oh, my gosh. Kane Blue River. Wow. We are the world. We are the children.
But I thought this was your game, bruh. I'm just saying. What did you learn? It's that simple. See, like I said, no one has a problem with trash talking when it comes to playing fighting games. But when you go over the top or you take it too far, you act like an asshole, nobody likes that whatsoever. That's what it comes down to. Well, unless you're an asshole yourself or a fucking child who can't see the difference. Yeah. Speaking of assholes and let's just say child and children, alright? For those who don't know, a lot of esports people are being fired. That's right, they're being fired now due to the fact that they've been swearing a lot on stream and having bad quality streams. And apparently, the FGC prides themselves by this by saying, why don't you join us? Yet again, you cannot be this fucking stupid. We've talked about this for how long now? As esports gets bigger, they're going to try and push it to the masses on the audiences. So when you're on ESPN, because that's owned by Disney, they can't have you swearing on camera. They can't have you having really bad quality streams. You're going to have to step up to the level of professionalism, which means you're going to have to adapt. And for the fact that the FGC is sitting here and saying they don't want to adapt, they want to stay this way, it goes to show you that they don't plan on going any further with this. However, alright, now they're trying to say that you need to support them more because they're part of the community. What kind of ass backwards logic is that? So you want people to support these people, and you're admitting that these people are hanging by a thread. These aren't the pro production companies we're going against. You have to understand, if you're going to beat the pro production companies at their game, you have to do exactly what they do. You have to adapt. You were literally saying, we don't want to adapt. We want all the perks of what these companies, these esports, these pro production companies do, but we don't want to have to change the way we do things. That's not how the real world works. This is why you hold yourself back every fucking time. All you got to do is adapt. What is the problem? Seriously, I've been talking about this for years, and it's real simple. Grow up. But you don't want to do that. And here's the thing. Back in the arcade days, the way you see streams and shit the way it is now, you never saw that. You never saw the way these people act. Nope. Tournaments weren't like that back then. No. All of a sudden, you've made this monster and you don't know how to contain it. Or you don't want to contain it. You just want to act like a bunch of immature assholes. Mind you, majority of you are grown men. Then you wonder why you're not getting any further than what you are. But we should support them even though you're on a fucking lifeline. That's what you're at right now. And never thought to you that it's time to change things because the way you're doing things isn't working, huh? Okay. Let's move on. Let's talk about King of Fighters real quick. I want to talk about the fact that we've seen the character roster so far, and many of us have talked this on Twitter. Where is Shingo? Where's Shingo? Seriously, if there's anyone you should be bringing back, it's Shingo. It's been a long time since we've seen him. Bring back Shingo, please. Anyways, in Guilty Gear news, that's right, even though we talked about it earlier, Guilty Gear Revelator, first gameplay of Raven Kum Haehyun is shown. It will be in the info bar if you were interested in that. Also, Mortal Kombat XL pack is now available. You can upgrade to the vanilla version. Just to let you know, PC gamers, I know how you feel. You still got screwed. And a certain somebody is already on Twitter talking about how this game is great, blah, 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 positivity, but won't speak a fucking word about the PC community. Okay. Positivity in games, though. Also, more fighting news. Killer Instinct 3, Season 3, I should say. Release date and PC specs have been announced. So that will be in the info bar as well for you. Also, in fighting news, this is a different type of fighting, though. UFC fighters are not happy with EA UFC versions of themselves. How many times do we have to go through this? Remember, every year when Madden comes out, athletes say, my rating is bad. I don't like this. Now we're seeing, well, I don't like the way I look in this game. This is kind of fucked up. And the thing is, most of the UFC fighters are taking this as a joke because they think it's a fucking joke that they look that bad. They really do. But it goes to show you that this is something that we're going to keep seeing. That EA bait. Every fucking time they're baiting bullshit. Anyways, let's move on. Kanye West. Kanye West is coming out with a new album apparently in summer, and he's naming it the TurboGrafx 16 because he is such a real gamer apparently. Really, Kanye? Look, I understand that you're in debt and that right now you're trying to culture vulture, all right, for some, for some money. And some of you guys already said, well, he does have video game ass beats, so who cares? The fact is, this dude is stop, Kanye. You're not a gamer. Just stop, all right? It's really that simple. Your girlfriend got into games. You released a couple games. The people, the SJWs over in San Francisco, they told you, literally, you said to yourself, they told you to fuck off because they think you're fucking crazy. But you're a gamer now. All of a sudden, you're a gamer. Okay, whatever. Let's move on. Sega. In some news that I think gamers need to hear, Sega releases a survey asking you fans, that's right, to help them make their games better. Now, I didn't know that a company needed fans to help them make their games better, but I understand that this is the way to go about things because they want your community input. And that's a good thing. This is a way to bridge the gap between company and community. We understand that Sega's only doing this due to the fact that they need money, let's be honest here. But, because, they wouldn't ask any other time. But, this is a good way for gamers to, connect with them. Let's just take that for what it is, okay? Positivity, though. All right? Let's keep going. Sega and Yuji Naka, they're attending SXSW, South by Southwest, for Sonic's 25th anniversary. Why? Last I checked, games didn't need to be at South by Southwest. This is just starting not too long ago, all right? Where all of a sudden, SJWs and games are starting to invade South by Southwest. Why? Who cares? You don't need it. This is what I mean. The gaming community is branching itself out. It's not just the community. It's the industry. They're stretching themselves too thin, trying to appeal to other people that don't care about you. I don't understand it. I don't. There's no reason. Speaking of people who don't care about your fans, just to let you know, fanboys and Sony, I guess, I don't really want to call you Sony ponies. I don't, because I don't like that, but fanboys. Sony trademarks Let's Play takes another hit as the USPTO accepts 2 letters of protest. That's right. So, they're still trying to go on with this Let's Play trademark, but now they're getting more protests. We will see what happens. I will put the link in the info bar. Like I said, these companies are not your friends. They're not. If you let them trademark Let's Play, you know how many people will be assed out on YouTube? I'm just saying. Is this... Anyways, in more news, because Sony loves you fans so much, PSP native PlayStation Store is closing on March 31st. That's sad. Sad day. Listen, Sony has just abandoned all this when it comes to PSP. They don't even care anymore. They don't. They're putting all their eggs in one basket when it comes to the PS4. That's what it is. All right, and there's already talks of a PS5, so yeah. Also, Sony patents, or should I say, I shouldn't even say, you know what? I should backtrack and say that they're not putting all their eggs in the PS4, but I guess they are. If you look at it this way, Sony patents, check this out, a power glove like motion controller for PlayStation VR. Now, of course, the PlayStation VR, and for what we're hearing already, Sony is going to let Remote Play come to, to the PC and Mac as well. Which is why I said it shouldn't just be the PS4. It shouldn't just be stored on that. But they're going to make a power glove. Look, I'll put it like this. If it's nothing like I saw in the movie Turbo Kid, I don't care. I don't care. Also, we have some more news. People getting screwed. You fans, community getting screwed. Rock Band 4. That's right. Now, we already know that Rock Band 4, they've been caught doing a lot of shit, all right? They gave you an incomplete game. They also, their employees went on Amazon and thumbed up their own ratings. They pushed them high to the moon, and they got caught doing it, and they apologized. Well, check this out. Rock Band 4 seeks crowdfunding for PC. So, remember, back in the day, they didn't want people to play on PC because they were afraid, because you wouldn't buy the games. They would just, the songs, because they would just be pirated. That's why it never came to PC. That's why people made a specific version, and it was a hack. We know that, right? Okay. So now they're saying that they're going to do this for PC, and fans are getting excited for PC. Stop right there, PC fans. Stop you right here. Because they're using Fig. That's right, as their crowdfunding. Now, When I saw that they were using Fig, I said something's up. At this point, every time I see somebody using Fig, I'm going to say something's up, okay? Something's up. We saw with Tim Schafer not too long ago when he decided to use Fig for Psychonauts, and what happened? He's on the advisory panel. We are finding out that this game, all right, for Rock Band 4 on Fig, all right, for crowdfunding, mind you, it's already made like $150,000 for what I've seen so far. The Harmonix co-founder is on the Fig's advisory panel. That's right. It's a hustle again. Again. Come on. Stop. Also, we need to have a talk about real gamers. I know we've talked about it a lot today, but apparently Phil Spencer came out. That's right, Xbox One Phil Spencer came out and said, if you are hoping that a platform in this gaming industry dies, you're not a real gamer. Now his response is directed towards Xbox fanboys who got upset over the fact that he praised Uncharted 4, and they felt as though he shouldn't because he's Xbox. They didn't know Xbox or die, and he simply just let them know exactly how it was. Now, while I do feel it's a noble effort to say something like this, let's not forget the reason Xbox is doing this due to the fact is they're in pretty last place right now. And let's not forget also back in the day that Sony and the Xbox, or should I say Microsoft, they made a killing off of this fanboy war, this platform, separation. Like I said, this is what they do. They come in and they divide you. They both made a lot of money off this. I remember back then when it was Resistance versus Gears. I remember that. Back in the day, I won't touch this game simply because it's on PlayStation. I won't touch this game simply because it's on Xbox. That was absolutely disgusting to watch. Because real gamers will play games anywhere they go. It does not matter. But it seems like those days are long gone. But I do find it somewhat noble of Phil Spencer to say this now, even though I feel there's a lot of implications on why he said it, you know what I mean, given their position. But it's a way to also clear the air. Xbox fanboys, doesn't matter if you're Xbox, Sony, it doesn't really matter. PC elitist, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. The fact is gaming, and when there's something wrong, we should back each other. All right? That's how it goes. And we are seeing that. You've seen a lot of this today. You have. Positivity. That's not positive, though. That's being negative. That's being a hater. Backing each other on these issues. That's being a hater. Yeah. Let's move on. All right. Remedy files trademark for Alan Wake return. That's right. So, get ready for another Alan Wake. That's right. Also, Bamco. That's right. Bandai Namco. Reveals Slashy Souls. That's right. It's a Dark Souls spin-off for the Android and iOS. I don't know how people are going to feel about that, but, some people may say, it's just exploiting and just milking it. But we'll see exactly how they go about it. Hopefully there won't be any microtransactions and stuff like that. Speaking of microtransactions, The Division won't have any microtransactions, says Ubisoft. Now, that doesn't mean it's not going to be DLC or a season pass or anything like that, right? So, Ubisoft, you're not out of the clear yet. And people don't trust you anyway, given how your games have performed over in the previous, 2 years or so? So, yeah, people are going to be very skeptical about what you do right now, Ubisoft. Also, in the last bit of news, which is good news, I guess it can be questionable at times, Activision is making special Skylanders toys for autism awareness. Now, while that sounds great, I would also want to know, because they talk about it, like I said, I'll put the link in the info bar, they talk about how they're going to, donate proceeds to, to other non-profit charity organizations as well. Now, here's the thing. How much are you donating? And I want to know how much you're getting on this kickback when it comes to these toys, these figures. That's the only questions I have. Other than that, I think it's for a good cause. Anyways, I'm done with the news. But gamers, you have to really start understanding who is on your side and who's not. People who blow hot air up your ass and then say, but I'm the good guy, love and peace, like they're fucking Bastion Stampede and shit, and they don't give you any facts on what's going on, and they want to talk about positivity, but they want to turn around and then say you're negative and call you a bunch of names. Dude, it's par for the course. I put it like this. If you decide to attack a community, you better be ready to back it up. You're going to get a backlash from it. And Lord knows I have dealt my share of backlash as well, right? But I've always handled it, and I've always shown you, examples, and I've shown you proof on why I feel the way I feel. Instead of some douchebag, getting on a stream and having fake, stuff up of himself, because it's always about him. It just goes to show you that there are people who are here for the community and here for themselves. And who are here to pretty much divide our community. You notice I've never tried to divide the community. I've always been at odds with people who don't want to clean up the community. Have you noticed that? Yeah. But I'll take whatever, whatever label you throw at me. Because that's what it is. Because, I don't give a shit anyway. But the fact is, these days and times, when you say something, especially to the fucking FGC, guess what? You take it to the sticks. There's no more bullshit, no more complaining, no more I'm going to have a debate and talk about my... None of that shit. None of it. That's not how it works. And anybody who decides that this is how it needs to go, no. Because it's never been that way. It's okay to have a talk about a game if you like or another person dislikes. It's okay about that. But when you purposely, alright, trash on the community, yeah, because that's what you did, and you trashed on people who had a legit concern, a legit complaint, and all you did was say they're not real gamers, and that they're haters, and that you're just entitled, and all this other bullshit, that backlash is coming back at you. And I'm not trying to hear, oh, but I'm exempt of it. You're not. Nobody is. I said last week, I'll say it again, nobody is untouchable. The fact is, this is something that should have been solved. And guess what? You should play Rock today as far as I'm concerned. Because you're not fucking busy. Stop ducking people. You don't want to play Rock? Guess what? Go play Ren. You don't want to play Ren? Go play Black Bond. Go play somebody. Somebody. Doesn't make no fucking sense, man. In the time that this guy's been ducking Rock, last week, I've done 2 round robins on a night and birth. Street Fighter was a third strike. I had a first to 10 in ST. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is what I mean. When people challenge, it's, hey, you're going to play amongst friends, you're going to laugh, it doesn't matter who wins or loses. But some of these dudes who want this so bad to be their identity, and you know it's not, and all the shit evidence leads up to that it's not. By the way, I'll put his PSN profile in the info bar. Yeah, so you can see that as well. All the evidence that leads to this dude is not a gamer, or any of these type of people who do more talking about games than playing, and you know I have a big problem with that. Because seriously, if you're a gamer, you play. But whatever. Like I said, just realize who's on your side. Like I said, the evidence, I would love to see him counter that shit. But he don't want that type of war, because you know what? At any time, I can dig back into his catalog and show you so much bullshit that he has said. Because it's past his neck. He's just drowning in shit at this point. And he thought that if he made a new video, that people would just forget about it. Nah, son, we not done. It's that simple. You're a disgrace to New York. You're a disgrace to trying to be a gamer. You're a disgrace of being a fake fucking champion, which you still have not defended those titles. You're a fraud. I see right through you. You're fucking glass. Matter of fact, I should call you Glass Joe from now on. Anyways, I'm done. This has been a very taxing video due to the fact that there's just so much bullshit, so much arrogance, so much lack of responsibility. And not just one person, amongst a lot of people, as you can see. It's disgusting. It is. And these are the people that are followed, praised, hailed as great. Fuck out of here. Use some logic and you'll see that shit right exactly for what it is. Anyways, I'm done. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all be safe. I'm out.